What is up, you wonderful people? It is I, Nima, and today I have a game I want to discuss with you called Krut and the Mythic Wings. But before we get into that, I do want to remind you guys to please hit that like and subscribe button, share the video, hit the bell, all that good YouTube stuff. We are almost at 500. We're going to get there soon, guys. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, so Krut and the Mythic Wings is a very interesting game. So this apparently is adapted from a CGI movie that I have yet to watch. I've been trying to because actually I enjoy the story. See, you play as Vera, a Garuda from the Krut tribe, and you're from the mainland known as Hempian. I hope I'm saying that right. But anyway, you've had a ongoing war with the rock orgs, and we're talking about centuries-long war. Like, your character Vera didn't start it, hasn't known the origin of it, but is there to have to clean it up at the end. So rock orgs have made their revenge and they have invaded and overthrown the capital city where the Garuda and the Krut were living, and Vera being one of the only ones who is able to escape. And upon this escape, you find yourself on an island, and very quickly you are also met with an elder Garuda who gives you the silver mythic wings, a very ancient weapon used to really expose your power. But you also learn that you have to find other powers from that island. There's 6 of them in total, most of them being elemental, and most of them being kept lock and key by a guardian, one that you have to face. So as you go through, you start to meet these other guardians, have to fight them, and that's really where the whole story kind of takes you. But the problem with this game has to come in the gameplay. See, it's a hack and slash game, very simple, but at the same time, where we want the game to be tight and responsive, it's just not. Like, the controls are very loose. There's only about 3 buttons you use regularly, which is a light attack, a heavy attack, and a dodge. And for some reason, it seems like these buttons don't really seem to respond like they should whenever you're in a fight. Not to mention, even the jump button kind of sticks. Like, there is a lag in this game that is noticeable, and it happens at weird times. I have yet to figure out if it's a performance issue or if it's an animation issue, because it happens usually during battles, but sometimes it happens when you're just trying to platform. And I will say too, I don't like the camera tracking. It's one of those games that you can be running and you'll stop and the camera almost like bounces back into place. It's kind of jarring when you first start it. You get used to it, but it's still kind of annoying. I don't know, and that itself just makes the entire game feel sloppy. I hate to say the word sloppy because it's a rude word, but it is. Like, so the game, one of the things about it is it has combos. Like, that's kind of one of the big quote unquote sellers of the game, is that you can do these combos. But the thing is every enemy can break your combo, and it happens all the time. Like, it's about impossible to do a big huge combo without it getting broke by an enemy. Like, even the small enemies and the enemies themselves, here's another thing, they're like bullet sponges. I swear, you're probably gonna die more from just your random enemy than you will from the bosses in the game, and that is crazy to think about. Like, if I have a run and I have 5 deaths, I guarantee you 4 of them happened away from the main boss or even the mini boss. And the bosses themselves are, I don't know, relatively easy to figure out. But it's just the fact that you don't ever feel like you have a lot of control. You kind of feel like you're flailing wildly, and this is also very prominent when it comes to like flying enemies or smaller enemies. They're hard to track, and you just don't feel like you're able to get good contact with them, which is hard to explain, but it just doesn't feel right. Like I said, I can't really explain it without saying, like, you don't make contact like you should, and it does get kind of, I don't know, frustrating, but at the same time, the game gives you enough things to keep you going. Like, when you die, you get to like keep all of your upgradable orbs, which you can make your character stronger. Now, does it make your character stronger? I don't know. Like, it seems to only make your character stronger in number. I've put and maxed out the strength of my Krut, and Vera is still just as kind of weak as he is in the beginning. Like, I don't notice regular enemies going down any quicker. But I don't know. I take a look at this game as I've beaten it, actually, and the characters are well done. The enemies, the bosses look amazing, and the character design in general looks really good. But for some reason, it's just they didn't get the gameplay right. They didn't get the controls right, and I think they could. And I think this is a game that could definitely definitely benefit from a patch and hopefully gets a patch. You with it being $8.99, are they gonna do it? I don't know. And some of this game does remind me of Tales of Iron. In the fact that it's difficult, the fact that every enemy is just another experience. I hate to say Souls-like, but it might be. But with the attention that they paid to the graphics, to the character design, and to things of that nature, I would hope that they would also bring forth the gameplay. And I understand that character design was done by somebody else, but if you actually look at the environments that you're in, they're beautiful. Like, the game itself is really, really gorgeous, but for some reason they just lose it with the performance. And I don't think it's a Switch thing on this, because this is literally like the controls and their responses. There are definitely times when I'm hitting like a combo and doing a dash and then jump, and my character doesn't jump. Like, it just happens a lot. Not to mention, like I said, the stuttering, the lag, the animation issues, the fact that every enemy can break your combo. All of these are problems with the game. But as I look at it and I look at the value, and I say to myself, it's probably about a third of the cost of Tales of Iron. Is it a third as good as Tales of Iron? And I have to say, yeah, I think so. Is it without its faults? Of course not. No, it is full of faults, but it's not a bad game for $8.99. I think it's definitely well within that range. Like, if they decide to charge $14 or $15, then yes, this game would need automatic patches. I would say it's a definite don't buy. But I still think there's some fun to be had here. And I think this is one of those games that, like, if you're kind of old school, if you can deal with, like, problematic loose controls, like some of the old school games, then you're actually going to really love this game. Again, I went through and beat it in about a day. It's about 4 to 5 hours long. It tells a really great story. Has a lot of great characters. I love a lot of the design and graphical excellence of this game. But I don't know. It's one that it hurts because it's so close to being really good. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you going to pick up Krut? Have you watched the movie? Let me know where you've watched the movie, because I've been trying to find it. That's how much I actually enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the movie. This whole thing is an experience I've never had before, and it's really cool. But anyway, yeah, let me know all your thoughts down below. I appreciate you guys. I love you.